Hello, I'm Bill LuMaye, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We hope you continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and providing you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. With so many areas of need, it can be overwhelming to figure out how you can help. Fortunately, there's an organization in your community that is committed to providing support to people who need it and having fun doing it. The Giving Friends Foundation is here to tell us all about that. To both of you, Michele and Trevor, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Well, let's talk about the organization and get to know you a little bit. Why don't you give us a little bit about who each of you are?
Okay. Well, I'm Michele Thorne, and I am one of the founders of the organization and currently serving as the treasurer of on the board. Trevor is my son-in-law. We're a very family-oriented organization as far as where we started. We really enjoy just getting together with our family and friends. We call ourselves Framly. And then we like to really just have a good time, bring everybody in the community together that's interested in helping others out through good food, good music, just lots of good laughter, and just keeping the community going.
So Trevor, it sounds like you're kind of in a party family here.
The funny part, is the year that we kind of all started kind of bringing these events together. We'll talk a little bit about our Thorntoberfest event here in a few minutes, I'm sure, but the first year we started that and kind of going out to a brewery and booking that event space and having all those the get-togethers and everything, that was pre-501c3. It was actually the year I met her daughter. So worked out really well, and I was kind of like, they like to have a lot of good fun and good time, and so it's pretty cool to see how much it's changed and how we, like I said, that was all pre-charity, pre-501c3, so it's really cool to see how it's grown.
Well, how did it all start? I mean, it's nice to have a good time.
Yes, exactly.
But how did the meeting of minds come together and decide to do what you're doing now?
Yeah, well, it started in my backyard as a milestone birthday party for my husband where we had some music and some food. And then the next year we grew and we wanted to invite the community to one of our favorite local breweries at that time, Double Barley in Smithfield, who unfortunately has gone out of business now, but we were good friends with the owners. They invited us there to host the event, just a community event. Again, my husband provided a great German feast, and that year was not yet a charity event, but it grew from there. The next year I was just thinking, we need to do something more with this. So I started talking with some local businesses and was able to get enough donations to put 3 raffle baskets together, advertised it again to the local community. Hey, we're having this great Thorntoberfest is what we called it because that's our last name. German food, live music all day. At that point we had 2 music events throughout the day. And we're gonna sell raffle tickets and do a 50-50. And all the proceeds went to Relay for Life for Johnston County. And we were able that year to raise $1,300 to donate to them, which was not, a significant amount, but to them it was significant.
Sure.
And we just had a really good feeling about doing that. So we went to another brewery that we're close with and know the family there. And they were already having a Oktoberfest themed event every year. They loved the idea of collaborating with us and making it a fundraising event. And it grew into, we probably had 500 people at that next year. The second year we worked with Help Thy Neighbor of JOCO, Johnston County. They're a hyper local organization that helps families out or individuals out that have fallen on hard times. We worked with them and with Donate Life NC. And we were able to give each of those organizations $3,500 that year.
How do you choose the folks that you're going to help?
Yeah, so we were talking actually a little bit before we got started with some folks here, but we as a board feel like, because it's made up mostly of our friends and family, like she said, we feel like we want to have something like almost hyper local, where it feels like it doesn't have to be based out of Clayton like we are, but I would call it a pretty rigorous selection process. The thought process behind it is, and to kind of call back a little bit to what she said about the first years, is like, it was really cool to see how people were like really engaging with the event once it went from fun to, hey, there's actually something on the line here a little bit, like hey, we're going to do something that's going to raise money. And once I could see that flip in folks, I think it was really cool to kind of go, okay, well, we could do it for Relay for Life North America, but it was really cool that I think it was a local Johnson County chapter. And so that was kind of where the inspiration of the vetting process began. We want to find stuff that we know people are going to care about. Like we want to find these organizations that we know need it, right? Our local partners, you mentioned Military Missions in Action, or even Help Thy Neighbor, right? These are people that when disaster strikes, they're the first people in locally to go help somebody, right? Like someone from a large organization out, not based here is not going to come help somebody whose house burned down in Johnson County. Like Help Thy Neighbor is going to do that. And so if we can fundraise an event for them, take on all the overhead costs for $2,400 or whatever it is, and say, hey, here's that money, that's directly to your pocket, then I think that really helps us out.
What's it like when you give a check to somebody on an organization? I'm sure they're
I don't
not
want to cry on
expecting.
TV, but
It's got to be almost as much fun as drinking the beer.
100% it is.
Yeah.
This past fall, for Thorntoberfest, we worked with Military Missions in Action again for the second year because we have developed a really good relationship with Zach, the president of that organization. They're out of Fuquay-Varina, and if you don't know much about Military Missions in Action, they do amazing work for veterans across the state with any area that they need assistance. It's just truly tremendous what they will do for them. But they were having one of their biggest fundraisers of the year, a golf tournament in Fuquay-Varina, and we got to go out and meet with them, go out on the golf course.
Sponsored a hole 17.
We did
which was
sponsor
really
a hole this year too.
Really cool.
So it's just heartwarming to see them to tell us what the money that we've given to them has allowed them to do, and how and help other people. We'll get into a little bit more too with the foundation of Lake Laura and Chimney Rock, what they've been able to do with the $10,000 that we were able to give them last year.
You mentioned, you've grown over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising to you that you've grown to this big so quickly?
It's kind of a fun, it's quite a conundrum because I talk to her husband, our president, all the time about it, and the hyper locality is super, I think that's what kind of keeps us grounded to what we do. The issue is when it grows, you kind of have to let it grow with you. It's really neat to think to go from $1,300 to then handing somebody who lost everything in a hurricane out west to hand them $10,000. I joke all the time, I feel like we're still a small, country charity from Johnson County, but yet the community continues to show up and give us money. It's granted the picture looks cooler when the check is 12 feet by 12 feet or whatever, right? But
yes.
It's real money that goes to them. It's something that I can never put into words fully, especially regardless of a setting we're in right now. It's really hard to say super local, super good. We're a tight knit group, but the community continues to raise or give us money, and it just continues to go to great places. And if it grows, I really want us to become, even if we don't grow into this massive organization that the first thing you think of when you think of giving money in Johnson County is us. I just want to build a legacy with this. I want this to be something our community goes, oh yeah, that's Giving Friends Foundation. They're the ones that throw that event every year that gave $25,000 to Chimney Rock and everything like that. I want that to be something that we're proud of.
Well, you should be. Thus far, you
Absolutely,
most certainly should. And I bet you wouldn't mind if you became the first #1 choice in Johnson County and elsewhere.
People's, yeah.
We got a lot more to talk about, so stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're talking to the Giving Friends Foundation today, and now Sarah's joined us on the set. Sarah, hi.
Hi,
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Sarah Gilson. I'm the Vice President of Giving Friends Foundation, and I'm also the founder of Big Heart Bingo that we'll be talking about here in a little bit. So,
Well, I have what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of a question, but you have fun and you raise money.
Right.
What came first? Was it the
Oh, they're
fun?
having fun, of course. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so tell us a little bit more about that, Sarah. Why was it important? And it seems like that still is, I'm not saying it's overriding the giving, but it is still an important element in what you guys do.
well, I'm gonna reverse back because this isn't with necessarily the foundation, but when I did Big Heart Bingo the first year, I had just moved. I wanted to get out into the community. I wanted to be able to meet a bunch of people at once and kind of help the community and bring the community together at the same time. So I think that's where the fun came into it for me, and then she was actually at some of those in their family, and that's how we all became united and came together.
Well, over the years, how much have you raised with the foundation?
So for the last 4 years and all the events that we have done, we are just under 30,000 that we've raised to give to a total of 4 different organizations.
Well, it can't be cheap to put on these events either. So, I mean, you got to be happy with that, right?
Very happy with that. Very happy with that. And we keep our overhead costs down by getting local businesses involved. We're developing a good network of those people who want to help us put these events on by sponsoring either live music or sponsoring at our event that we're having on April 11th. We're going to have a kids zone with some bounce houses and things like that. So we have people, or we're looking for people who may be interested in sponsoring those types of pieces of a day.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the events, especially coming up. You mentioned the kids event.
Yeah, April 11th, we're having Family Fun Day and Big Heart Bingo. It's a 2-part day. Family Fun Day, first let me say it's at the farm at 95 in Selma. 10 to 4 is the Family Fun Day portion of the day. We're going to have 3 local bands playing throughout the day. We're going to have a lot of local vendors set up. We're having a barbecue cook-off. And then we'll have a kids area where there'll be some bounce houses and slides and things for just the family to have fun together, be outside and connect with their community.
And it's due to sponsors that we're able to do that. You know, we have OPW Retail Fueling, we have Dion Mershon, a broker with North Group, and we also have Nothing Bundt Cakes that has been in for many years helping us out. So without those contributions, and then I was adding up yesterday, I have collected over 90 prizes and raffle items for the actual bingo event itself. So, and that's all from the community. The community jumps in and says, let us help, you know, we want to be part of this event. So,
Now, how difficult is it to find sponsors? Now, you haven't been around that long, but you must have a heck of a reputation for people to even take the time to talk with you. Is it a difficult thing to do?
It's a lot of just being out in the community. We like to support local businesses and befriend the owners or the other clients or customers of those organizations and talking with them about what we're doing. And they get interested and they like to have fun. They want to give back to the community. So it's introducing them to some new organizations that are helping other people in the community and combining the two, fun and charitable giving.
So I talked a little bit about this, but I'd like to get your perspective too. The organizations that this foundation has impacted. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I'm going to say when we took that check to Lake Lore last year for the Lake Foundation for Lake Lore and Chimney Rock, it was very humbling. There was a lot of emotions involved after their slow recovery from Hurricane Helene. And just seeing after a year where the community was and knowing that they have 10 more years worth of work. So on our visit then we said, this is the same organization we're going to use next year. And just being able to continue to watch them build and see exactly where our money's going, you don't always get that opportunity. And that's a huge opportunity, I think, for us.
Yeah.
No, that is. What about, I know you have a big bingo event coming up.
Right.
Yeah,
Not pretty good at that.
That's super exciting. That is super exciting to me. That I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears along with the committee. But it's something that I put in my heart in for a few years on its own. Before joining the foundation, I was able to raise just under $8,000 just doing that for local charities. But like I said, you know, people come in with a $20 donation to get their seat. If they want to add food onto it, it's another $10 donation. They have opportunities to shop with vendors inside, buy raffle tickets, buy extra bingo cards, but the bingo prizes itself, the lowest one is a $25 value. But we have bingo prizes and raffle prizes up to $1,000 value. So it's totally extraordinary what people can win and what they can get, and it's pretty exciting.
Is this like a year-round event, planning parties?
Almost.
We
yeah.
started 6 months ago with this one,
Yeah.
We'll wrap this one up and we'll start talking about Thorntoberfest that we have usually in October of every year.
Oh, that is cool. Well, we got another segment to go and a lot more to talk about. So stick around. We'll be coming right back. We're back with Sarah and Trevor with Giving Friends Foundation. Again, we appreciate you hanging out with us today. Can we talk a little bit about the events? I mean, for people who don't really realize, if you may have thrown a big party at one time in your life, folks, but putting these events together, the logistics involved have got to be just mind-boggling. Give us some insight. How difficult is it?
Well, there's a lot of work behind it. There's a lot of footwork. There's a lot of planning. It's really about seeing the big picture and what all starts from the minute we open. Actually, prior to that, you know, we're all a group of volunteers. We all have full-time jobs. We all have a newborn baby. Not all of us, but we do have things that we are focusing on our daily life. But there is a lot of planning. You know, getting the venue, getting the date together, getting a date that works for everybody. Again, getting the bands. You know, we have 3 bands that are coming to our Family Giving Day, starting with Lonnie Britton, the Outlaw. Allison Radcliffe is also local, and then we're ending the day with Longleaf Soul, and all of those are local artists. They're donating their time to be part of the day, and that's just so appreciative. And you can't always find that, you know, and the sponsorship, it's getting that to come in. And the biggest thing we're needing right now is volunteers. We need feet on the ground, whether it's organizing, getting the vendors to their spots, helping with the food, helping serve the food, checking bingo cards, as we're calling them, that evening. And since we're starting at 10 a.m., we're technically starting at 7 a.m., you know, and we're not going to be done until 11 p.m. that night. It's a long thing, and we have to think about everything that is involved in that. So,
Well, when you talk about sponsors and vendors and that, how important is that, Trevor, to the organization itself? Because I know you want to raise as much, and you also want to give as much, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we never want to promise to a sponsor that they're going to get an extra $10,000 in revenue just for doing this. Like, what's really cool is, like, every time we've had a sponsor, it's felt like they're doing it from their own heart. Like, it's felt like they're doing it for the right reason, which is really unique. She's mentioned OPW, based out of Smithfield, Selma area. And, you know, people see them every day. They don't even know it, right? You pump your gas and you look at the thing, and they make it, right? Like, they don't have to, like, support our small little charity and, you know, all the things that we're trying to do, but they do, right? And I think it's really cool to understand that the heart of every sponsor is they're doing it for the right reason. That's why I mentioned the vetting process earlier, and like how we're going to find a partner organization. But the sponsor part, like, we don't necessarily vet a sponsor by any means, but almost every single person, it feels like, that is just doing it for the right reason, which I think is really unique.
Which is how it started, I suppose.
Yeah.
Can you share some highlights maybe over the years? Anything kind of stand out to you guys that special to you?
I'll say with OPW, they actually reached out to me last year. I was driving down the road and I got this text, and it was very unexpected from a number I don't know. And I almost wondered if it was like a spam text, you know, because it says, "Hi, my name is Lisa, I'm with OPW. I want to help sponsor your event. I want to donate these items to your event." And when I stopped and I was reading it, I was actually arriving at the doctor's office, and they're like, "Hey, your heart rate's kind of high." And I'm like, "You wouldn't even believe the email I just got." You know, it was insane. So knowing they reach out, when I reach out to Nothing Bundt Cakes, they're like, "How can we help? What do you need from us?" You know, and that's just amazing. And Deanne Mershon with North Group, she is instantly, "What can I do?" She is feet on the ground. She's posting about it on a regular basis, trying to help get donations. And so I think a highlight is knowing the community wants to be involved. I think we have the most amazing community surrounding us, and sometimes they say no, and that's okay, because with every no, you get a yes.
I would call a milestone the opportunity to do this, like the fact that CW is willing to see something. Like, it's not like we're out doing it and like we're doing our best to make sure our social media presence is as strong as possible, but like this doesn't happen without 96.1, without you guys. Like, to be able to have this like legitimacy behind backing what we're doing, like, we really appreciate it. It's something that, as humbly as I can say it, like, this is a milestone, I would call it.
Well, it says a lot about the organization to have people who will reach out and want to give. You know, you don't normally get that kind of response. It's difficult to do that. Where do you see yourself hopefully going in the near future and maybe even beyond?
It's a really hard question, because like I've joked with, I mentioned the president before, I've joked with really everybody on the board recently, where it's like at one point Thorntoberfest was doubling our donation total every year. It almost to a number, like almost to a zero, doubling. And that became unsustainable at one point. Like, we knew that was, you know, it was going to be really difficult. I talked about, like, earlier as well, like, I want the community to know this is something that they can get behind.
What do you hope people take away from the events you put on? And I know you put a lot of heart and soul into every one you plan.
We like people to come and, we've said it, have fun. But at every event we've done, we have raffle prizes, we have the bingo prizes, we have baskets that are donated from community, and we want people to say, hey, I donated to charity, but I also got something out of it. The odds with bingo, if we have 90 prizes, some of them raffle, some of them bingo, and we have 350 seats, what are your odds of getting a prize? It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we can echo the fun thing the whole time, and I want the community to understand that, like, when they show up and they're having a good time, they know it's for a good cause. And so that's what's really cool about these events is people are going to show up. I honestly, I had never played bingo, and I still technically have not. So I somehow got to find a way to get looped into that. But I have so much fun putting on the event that it's like, I don't know, I could rather somebody in the community win $200 and go home with it.
Well, maybe this will be the year, Trevor.
Maybe.
Let's hope this will be your first time. You don't want to be a bingo virgin. You know, get in there.
He's a great caller. He calls the numbers really
I bet
good.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking. I can't do it for 9 hours or 5 hours.
Well, if you need a little help at the end, I'll be happy
I'm hold you to it.
You mentioned volunteers, and
Yes.
sponsors, and vendors. And we got a little TV show here. Maybe you want to, how do people get a hold of you, regardless of who you are, or you just want to go and have fun?
Well, they can follow us on Facebook, Giving Friends Foundation. They can also check out our website, givingfriendsfoundation.org. They can listen to 96.1 because 96.1 has been talking about it. So that's
cool.
a good feeling. It's a warm, fuzzy feeling to hear where you're going and what you're doing for the community is recognized by other people in the community. So definitely visit our website and visit us on Facebook.
Whether it's becoming a vendor, volunteering, it's really exciting when people nominate an organization for our next event. Like, that's something we've always I wanted it to get to a point where we aren't necessarily picking it. I want people to say, like, hey, there's this really cool organization doing this really cool work in our area, and I want to nominate it. We have a contact form people can go to, and all of those are an option there. You can fill it out, explain why you're reaching out. Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff. We're on about everything we can be on right now to try to just get this out there. So.
If they want to get tickets to Big Heart Bingo, they can look up Big Heart Bingo on Facebook. They can go to our website. But we have plenty of tickets still available. And the last 4 years, it has sold out. So we are anticipating that. Last year, we raised $10,000. Can we double it? It's up to the community to answer that.
All right, I think you can. Your organization is wonderful. It's built on all the right things, and that's why it's growing. And thank you for taking the time with us today. Thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you have any questions or would like to know more, visit our websites at raleighcw.com and myrdctv.com. I'm Bill LuMaye. Thank you for watching Community Matters, and we'll see you next week.